Hi, everybody. Diana here at Build a Quilt. So I'm back. I hope that you are going to jump back on with me. I'm so sorry. Thank you to Natalie for letting me know that I was muted. I've never done that, but I'm using a new laptop. And when I looked down, there was a big red light there saying you're muted, and I hadn't seen it. I'm so sorry. I apologize. So we're going to start our live over again. This is Diana. We are home of Patchwork in the Build a Quilt Patchwork in the Hoop. Patchwork in the Hoop is a traditional quilting method that you use with your embroidery machine. It's not embroidery quilting. It is traditional patchwork quilting that you create with your embroidery machine. All of the seams, all of that is built in for you. So if you've tried other methods of quilting and didn't like having to work with the 1/4-inch foot and getting everything squared up and all, you don't have to worry about that with Build a Quilt because all of that is built into your pattern. And I wanted to come and talk to you today and have a little lunchtime chat with you guys here. Kind of a review of the week, and to let you all, those of you that can't come on Wednesday night, to kind of let you see what we've been up to this week and what's going on. So hi, everybody. Welcome back in. Somebody please drop a comment and let me know that my sound is working. It should be. I just want to make sure I haven't done anything else. So if you all notice, I am not in the studio today. I'm actually out in my kitchen, dining room, family room area. It is really hot and humid in the studio right now because it's not really hot outside, but the humidity and the dew point is way up there. And I can't breathe back there when it's like that. So I thought I would come out here, and I brought my coffee with me. I did not bring lunch, sorry, even though it's lunchtime. However, when we're done today, I think lunch is going to be a little bit of cottage cheese today, just something light today, because I have repairmen coming in a little while. Back in the spring, our home was hit by lightning. We lost every appliance in the house: fridge, stove, microwave, dishwasher, you name it, we lost it. So we're trying to slowly get that back up. So I have to have an electrician and a plumber come out today and do some work. And then hopefully in a week or so, we'll have our new appliances. Anyway, so I'm so glad that y'all are joining me. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Again, I'm Diana, and this is, of course, Build a Quilt Patchwork in the Hoop. And I wanted to hop on, like I said, to talk to you all about kind of what's been going on if you weren't able to join us on Wednesday night for Wednesday Workshop Live. So not this Wednesday, but the Wednesday before, we introduced a whole new block. It's our 5x7 string piecing block. You guys love our 5x5 segment for string piecing. One of our good friends here at Build a Quilt is creating a beautiful quilt with it. She's almost done too, and I can't wait. She'll send me a picture when she's done, and I'll share it with all of you because it's gorgeous. It's a lot of Tula Pink in there, and you guys know I love Tula Pink fabric, and so it's going to be all those beautiful fuchsias and mints and blues, and oh, you love it. I just love it. It's going to be gorgeous. But we came out with the 5x7 because you all were asking for a bigger size, which I'm happy to digitize bigger sizes and get those out there for you guys. But I always try to make sure that they will fit in a 5x7 hoop, because Build a Quilt is built around the idea that the segment pieces that go into creating the blocks and the quilts can be made in a 5x7 hoop. Now, a lot of you want bigger blocks. I understand that, and they're coming. I'm going to start doing some bigger ones, individual segments. Those are coming, but this will fill your 5x7 hoop, and it's great. And you can do it in two ways. So this one and this one are done completely scrappy. Now, these just all happen to be Lori Holt fabrics. I love Lori Holt's fabrics. If you do too, drop me a comment and let me know. But I love Lori Holt's fabrics, and I had a bunch of them in my scrap bin. And so my two scrappy blocks ended up being all Lori Holt. But between both of these, there's not one repeated fabric, I don't think. So I had a lot of them. So you know how much I love Lori Holt, right? So in the scrappy look, you're going to get a very striped look if you do a quilt with this, and it will look extremely random, right? Because everything is different. If you're jumping on, introduce yourself. Say hi in the comments. I'd love to say hi to you back. That's what we do on Wednesday nights. We always say hi to one another and chit chat. So let us know who you are in the comments. Would love to talk with you. So the scrappy look is 7 scrappy pieces of fabric. And your overall quilt is going to look just completely random, and it's going to look great. It's going to look, if you're someone who really liked the 60s and 70s, I mean, that was my era. That's when I was growing up. You're going to love doing a quilt that way. But there's another way you can do this block too. And that's, I call it, hey, Sue, how are you? It's so good that you stopped in. I'm so glad to see you. This is the other way. It's the what I call the curated version. It means a single designer's fabric. And you only need 4 fabrics with this one. You're going to have one that's going to be your center. And then the 3 others will go back and forth. So the lime, the cream, and the taupey brown on the ends. And so when you put these together, you're going to end up with a very specific look, very intentional. But that's the great thing about patchwork. Depending on how you play with your fabric, you can come up with all kinds of different looks. Hey, Lisa from NOLA. Oh, I'm so glad you're in from NOLA. You know, Lisa, I used to live in Pensacola many years ago when Dave was flying for the Navy. And I worked for a while and did some stuff over in NOLA, and had a sweet little 96-year-old Creole lady, Cajun lady, sorry, teach me how to cook authentic Cajun food. Best time of my life. Absolutely loved that time down there. So I'm so glad to see you. We have been, oh, you've been on vacation, Sue. Where'd you go? You'll have to let us know. We were planning a vacation, but we decided to do home improvement instead this year. Vacation will come. We'll get something in. We're trying to take a weekend here and there, but we haven't had a big vacation in over 15 years. So I think we're due. But when you have to replace every appliance in your house due to an act of God, which is not covered by your home insurance, you guys should know that. It's not covered. So weekend maybe here or there, but next year I think we're definitely doing a vacation for sure. We need one. So that was our 5x7. I'm going to show you guys all where you can get these at the end. Those of you that are with us that join us all the time know, but I'll share it with everybody at the end. So this is our 5x7 string piecing block. Oh, my phone's blowing up over here. Now, we used to have a show on Sundays called Quilt Lab, and every month we have a Quilt Lab block. But I'll be honest, Quilt Lab was really hard for me to get out on Sundays. It was keeping me from getting other things done for you guys. My family was not liking it because I was losing my whole weekend to working, and they finally kind of put their foot down and said, no more. And a lot of you guys told me, you know, Diana, I never get to watch the Sunday Quilt Lab until Monday or Tuesday anyway, because we're doing family stuff on Sunday. So that makes perfect sense. So now, at least once or twice a month, if not twice a month, we have a Quilt Lab exclusive night on our Wednesday workshop. And this past Wednesday was that, and I'm going to share that with you. But last month, our Quilt Lab block was our flower basket block. And, you know, I think it was just last night I finally got done answering all of the email I got about this block. You guys really loved this block. It brought back memories of learning to quilt, maybe some of you with your moms or your grandmoms, and some of you it was just your very first block that you learned how to make. And there's lots of versions of the flower basket. This was my version. And so Quilt Lab blocks always come in 3 sizes. So you get all the downloady information, our exclusive coloring sheet to help you plan your colors. And then this block came in the 10x10, 15x15, and 20x20 sizes. Now that big 20x20 size is perfect if you like to do little wall hangings or table mats. You know what I'm talking about if you like to do those. Oh, I'm glad you do, Sue. I'm glad you love this block. So not this Wednesday, but the Wednesday after, I'm thinking we're going to be doing a project with the 20 by 20 version of this block. So it will be, when you're done, it's a standalone project. It's not going to be a block that's going to go into a quilt. But this is the 10 by 10 version, and this size is perfect. It's that sweet spot of a block for putting lots of blocks together for a quilt. And can I just say, you guys went absolutely ape over the Riley Blake block challenge that we did this year. So Riley Blake did a block challenge where 16 of their designers created 16 blocks, and they put them all together into a quilt. And a bunch of you contacted me and said, is there any way we can do the Riley Blake challenge? So I went and looked at it, and I was like, sure. So I digitized all those blocks and the sashing set. That whole grouping is now together. It's completely free over at the website, which I'll share in a bit. And you guys went nutso over it. I think over 6,000 of you have now gotten that set and are making that quilt. And that thrills me. So I've started creating the Quilt Lab blocks in the 10 by 10 size as well. And in June, we had 3 additional mix and match blocks that were 10 by 10. So you guys are really building a beautiful library of blocks for making all kinds of quilts. So this was let's see, this was August block. I don't even know what month I'm in anymore. This was August's block, the flower basket block, and I'll show you how to get to that in just a little bit. But Wednesday night, this past Wednesday night, was our Quilt Lab episode of Wednesday Night Workshop, and I introduced our new September block. Now, this block can definitely be used on its own, but it was specifically created because our yearly Quilt Lab quilt is coming up. We're going to be starting that pretty soon. Even though we have more blocks to come, we don't always use all the blocks from the year in the quilt, but this block is going to be used in the quilt. And even though it can be used on its own, it makes a great filler block. And it is called the Inside Out block. How I came up with this block was, do you know when you put on your blue jeans and you roll up the cuff and the outside becomes, or the inside becomes the outside? That cuff is lighter in color than the outside of the denim, right? So that's what's going on with this block, is we have 3 colors in the same color family. So this is kind of a teal aqua family, and it's meant to really blend together in these different colors. So you're going to be making 2 in the dark light and 2 in the medium light to make this block. Now, this block is only created, I'm folding this so you can see the one piece, is only created using a modified half square triangle. This is a basic triple modification. So here is your half. There's your half. So this half is half of your half square triangle. If you were making a traditional half square triangle, you'd use a different single piece of fabric up here. But this is a triple modification, 1, 2, 3. And you can, these kinds of blocks are so helpful for shaping and color and creating all new designs, like in the center of a block. I love making these blocks. So this one is made with only that segment piece, but you put 4 of them together in this way and you get the inside out block. Now, this is the 10 by 10 size. This is the largest size this month. Because this block is so great for filler, it's 10 by 10, 8 by 8, and 6 by 6. Those are all really good sizes to be put into a quilt. Now, you could make a whole quilt just with the 10 by 10 for sure. That Riley Blake block set, if you wanted to make that quilt bigger, you could use this block to expand out the rows in that quilt and make a much bigger quilt if you want, because that quilt, I believe, is just a good throw size. I think it was like 55 by 70 or something like that. So that's a great throw size. But if you wanted to expand that out for a bed quilt, use this block as your filler block, and it's going to turn out great. Okay. Now, when you get this block, and this is what you get when you get any of our patterns, you can print out the pattern if you like, or you can just look at it on your computer or your iPad or your tablet or whatever. That's entirely up to you. But what you get is, I'm trying to get my pages to come apart. I just washed my hands, and when my hands get really soft on the ends, I can never separate anything. So your first page always tells you what it is, what the segments are, and that's the only segment this month. Then you get a page that's all about supplies, and then you get our fabric information sheet. And the fabric information sheet tells you exactly what kind of fabric you need, how many you're going to make of each color combination, all of that kind of thing. And then in this block, you get 3 cut sheets, a cut sheet and actually a placement sheet as well, because you get a placement diagram for the 6x6, the 8x8, and the 10x10. So you get all 3 of them. So you just grab the one you need, take it in your fabric over to your cutting area, wherever that happens to be, and cut your fabric out. And then, like I said earlier, you get our exclusive coloring sheet. This is the coloring sheet for the inside out block. This is really helpful when you're planning color. If you have, this is the way I always think about it. If I could color all 4 of these into a different color combination, and that would help me see what color I really want to use. And if I've already chosen fabric for my quilt, I could use this to color in and see which one of the colors I already have do I want to use for this quilt for this particular block. And you could use it that way as well. But it really helps you to figure out color before you end up cutting, and you cut something that might be that one precious fabric that you've kept for a while, and then you decide to cut it and cut it wrong. Ah! I hate when that happens, and that happens. That's kind of how the coloring sheet came about. And so you get that, you get some more general instructions, you get a layout sheet, and then I always give you the full block so that you can kind of keep that next to you. And I tell you in the how-to video that you want to keep that next to you when you're doing the layout, because this block is deceptively simple to mess up. When you make your 4 pieces, it almost naturally feels like you're going to put them where your small blocks are all in the center. And that comes out with a whole different block that you could use it that way if you wanted. But for the inside out block, you want to make sure that your dark light combo has the solid half of the modified half square triangle pointing inwards, and the light medium has the small square pointing inwards to get this kind of a butterfly bow tie effect. Or like I said the other night on Wednesday night workshop, you get that kind of TIE fighter from Star Wars. So, but you want to make sure that it's deceptively easy to put that down in that other way and then have to pick it out. And who wants to pick out their blocks? I hate having to do that, right? So that is this month's block, the inside out block, okay? And it will definitely be used. And if you are a Quilt Lab subscriber, you already have received your download code for it. And speaking to any of the Quilt Lab subscribers that are either on here now or might watch later, I sent you guys an email on Wednesday. You need to read it. It's got some dates in it. It's got something special in it for you guys. That's part of your benefit package. You plan on making it in red, gray, and white for our bed. Oh, Lisa, that's a gorgeous color combination. That's lovely. So Quilt Lab subscribers, read that email because there's a date in there for getting me your questions for this month's private Q&A video. And it sounds like I've got somebody about to walk into the house. So if you hear someone come in and say, "Hi, honey, I'm home," or "Hi, sweetie pie, I'm home," that's my husband, but I hear him out in the garage. So I won't take up much more of your time. But that's what we did this week and the last couple of weeks. It's been great to jump on with you guys at lunchtime. I love that. If you enjoy a little Friday lunchtime, I probably can't do them every Friday because Fridays are super busy around the studio and here at the house and all. But when I can, I will be happy to do that because I like doing it. And you got to see the rest of the house kind of today. All right, everybody, let me just tell you how you can get um, your things. The website is www.mybuildaquilt.com. That's where you can get all of these patterns. And right now, our Labor Day sale is still going on. And with this code, 25 Labor Day sale 2024, sorry, that's long. I'm going to start making those shorter. So sorry. But you get 25% off any single item that you purchase at the website. So if you're wanting any of these new block patterns, or you want the big combination basic set, that coupon will work for any of them through the 15th of September. So go ahead and head over there and take a look at what's available and save a little money, right? We're all about saving money for sure. So that's the website. If you need to contact me, you can do it at support@sewincommon.com. I'll get back with you as soon as I possibly can, usually right away, or if it's late at night, the next morning, if I'm already asleep or if we're doing something family-wise. You guys get how that goes, right? And then last but not least, thank you all so much for joining me. And please subscribe, like, and share the videos here on our YouTube channel. That's how this group has grown to be so large. And it is truly a joy for me to do this and bring this all to you and get to know you guys. So for those of you that popped in and said hello, Sue and Lisa, thank you so much. Have a great weekend to you too, Sue. Lisa, I'm going to be waiting with bated breath when we do our quilt to see how yours turns out. That color combo sounds gorgeous. So thank you all for joining me for Friday lunchtime here at Build a Quilt. And until next time, you guys know what I'm going to say. Go have a great weekend and sew life or quilt life beautiful. Bye for now.